Hello, I'm wbz-tv meteorologist Barry Burbank, and I have your forecast for today and the next several days. Let's first start out with a spring countdown. It's 53 days until the Great Boston Marathon, 45 days until opening day at Fenway Park, and 25 days till the official beginning of astronomical spring, and then 15 days till the beginning of daylight saving time. Yes, it's coming up very soon. Here we are at February 23rd, and then on March 10th, that's when we'll be having our sunset at 6:45 in the evening. So only 15 days away from that. Of course, as we spring forward 1 hour, we lose some of that daylight in the morning, but we get that changed and flip it to the evening when you get that sunset at 6:45. That's going to be pretty sweet. Today, by the way, is 11 even hours of daylight. So that's good news. You've probably been noticing how much more daylight we're getting, especially in the afternoons. Well, in terms of the least snowy winters in Boston through yesterday, through February 22nd, we're no longer up near the top. We're now down in the 8th position because of the last 2 snow events in Boston. Has brought the seasonal total up to 10.5. Now, that isn't much compared to what we had in just February alone of 2015 when 65 inches of snow fell. So we still have quite a deficit here, and there is no snow expected for the rest of this month in February. And 80% of the snow that has fallen in Boston so far this season has come since February 12th, so that's kind of amazing. Last year we had almost 2 feet of snow in Boston in the month of March. That doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be happening again this month, but still the active weather pattern suggests that it's hard to imagine we would not get through the winter without one big snowstorm. So we'll have to see what happens if that materializes, but nothing is in the works right now. So highs today around 40 to 44, but maybe upper 30s parts of the Worcester Hills. Here's a storm here that's going to go traveling up through into across the plains in the upper Mississippi Valley, and east of that there's going to be a system parameters here available to crank out some severe weather in the lower Mississippi Valley. In the upper Mississippi Valley, there's going to be a lot of snow, but down here, that's where they're going to have a risk of severe thunderstorms and scattered tornadoes. In fact, there's an area of across portions of northern Mississippi into northwestern Alabama where there's a moderate risk of severe weather. So it's pretty much guaranteed there's going to be some severe weather in here, some storms which are going to be damaging, and perhaps some tornadoes in there as well. So that's there. For us, we have no issues today. Just a nice day with sunshine, with some high cloudiness in the sky at times over southern New England especially, and especially late this afternoon, this evening. Throughout the day, it looks like a lot of the time the cloudiness is going to be relatively thin to allow a lot of sunshine to penetrate on through. We should be getting up, again, is in the lower 40s. Start dropping off tonight. That's when the cloudiness starts thickening up. But there won't be any precipitation around until well after midnight. So if you're going out this evening, no problems traveling around. Now, in the early morning hours, 2 to 4 to 5 o'clock, there'll be a little bit of snow and mixed snow to sleet and freezing rain across northern Massachusetts here, and especially just across the border into southern New Hampshire, and lasting longer the farther north you might be. So if you're going traveling, or perhaps, for example, going skiing up north tomorrow, early in the day, you're going to have to allow for a lot of extra time for travel because it will be slippery up here. But it'll only be slippery for a short period of time in northern Massachusetts, and then as temperatures start rising, and road treatment will take care of that, and it'll be fairly wet most of the time right into the middle part of the afternoon, and then it'll clear up tomorrow night. Because of a chance of slippery roads across northern Massachusetts, the National Weather Service has a winter weather advisory from 1 a.m. to about 9 a.m. tomorrow. And it'll last longer in far northern New England, where there's a winter storm warning in the western mountains of Maine and northern Maine for several inches of snow there. But only a brief spell of snow, sleet and freezing rain at the beginning of this system in the early morning hours, pre-dawn to around dawn or just after, mostly rain across the rest of the area. As far as snow goes, there's going to be some across the western Great Lakes today, but we get into late tonight into early tomorrow morning, there's going to be a swath of heavy snow. In some spots will get more than a foot in Iowa, southeast Minnesota, Wisconsin, in that path just to the west or left of the storm track. For us, we get nothing more than maybe just a coating in northern Massachusetts, up to an inch across perhaps a few points in southern New Hampshire away from the ocean, and then several inches across the northern mountains of New England from the northern whites into the western mountains of Maine. As far as rain goes, it looks like about a half inch of rain, give or take a tenth or two. out of this system coming on up as it moves our way. You can see it coming up from the southwest. The main storm goes well west of us with all its heavy snow. There'll be a little secondary tries to get organized in there tomorrow. And once all these storms move up to the north of us, on Monday there's going to be a tremendous amount of wind on the backside of the storm. Backlash winds with tight pressure gradient means widespread gusts over 50 miles an hour and some wind damage likely on Monday in scattered locations. These will be your real field temperatures, wind chill temperatures on Sunday. See the cold air coming down through the upper Mississippi Valley, and it'll be mild here tomorrow, but then look at Tuesday morning. It'll feel like 6 in Boston, well below 0, Green Bay north. And then look at a Tuesday evening, it's going to feel like 5 degrees in Boston. And look at Wednesday morning, it's going to feel like 10 below 0. So we have a couple of very cold days coming on Tuesday and Wednesday. The wind will be less harsh by the time we get to Wednesday, but Monday and Tuesday, lots of wind. And meteorological spring begins next Friday. We'll have a high temperature of 35. And that's your forecast for now. Have a nice rest of the weekend.